I want to welcome you to the Essex County Plantation in the United States Tax Farm, New Jersey's Quadrant. Yeah, Fleccas, who is a 300 plus K subscriber channel here on YouTube, came to Newark. And, well, yeah, this is the reality of the situation. This is a part of the plantation, namely the county plantation, but like really just the democratic plantation all over the nation that particularly takes place in urban society. And yeah, all these years, right? 40 plus years of, governmental rule and police state tactics and terrible policies and legislation that no one wants to address. And here it still is. Here it remains. The grime and grit and the nastiness that has to go somewhere always tends to find itself right on here. Isn't it weird how it works like that? Anyways, they did a video and we're going to comment. Let's go.
End of the world down here. And they figure that nobody don't come down here to worry about this spot. This used to be Newark housing,
And now it's people are kind of abandoned. People are coming in doing drugs.
That's what they call. That's why we call them bandominiums. Instead of condominiums, these are bandominiums because people live all in them.
But I don't read it.
So it smells exactly how it looks. All right. Now these particular areas are ones that I have to frequent at all, but yeah, I can guarantee you it smells exactly how it looks. And this is just, it's just been brushed aside. When you look at how pretty the center of the municipality of Newark is looking, with the buildings going up and the new, and basically all the gentrification that's happening in the downtown area, I mean, it's just pushing things away. It's not particularly lifting anyone out of poverty from within these circumstances. No. It's just it's continuously just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it into like curved out districts in areas in precincts and quadrants.
The city of Newark that much because you can get robbed in the day, the night, afternoon, anytime.
And like many Newarkers, he has a very distinct, not Newark accent now, doesn't he? Because this place had been after the riots took place, oh man, it was like, you know what? Let them have it. They drew red lines around. It was like, we're going to push through the Hard Sellers Act and get all these immigrants in here. And, they all black. So have fun with that one, guys.
So you just have to always be on alert.
We can't be comfortable no more. We're too scared to even go to sleep because somebody gonna wind up breaking in the house.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. How do I put it? The area, just generally speaking, is better than it was back in the 90s and 2000s when, the masculinity was like at peak, and as the drug war was really taking effect and really taking hold, and the consequences hadn't quite popped up yet, but they were on their way. Now, I mean, is a lot more, now with the matriarchal angle and matriarchal bend and all of these, really, not particularly projecting all that much testosterone young boys out here who are the products of these single mothers that the government and the welfare state have propped up, then it's not as bad as it once was. But darling, here's a beautiful thing about the United States of America is that you can always move. I'm someone who's done it. You get the hell away from these circumstances and these situations. That's really the only option, because these areas have been neglected, and and the deal is that there's profit in the neglect. There is there's money to be made in your property values being in complete and utter catastrophe, and it's at levels that you'll never see.
I was raised raised here from kindergarten to 12th grade. So.
And what are some of the problems the community is facing that maybe the rest of the country's not aware of?
I'd say drugs is a huge problem. Education, families
Okay, so these are like the three things that everyone always talks about: drugs, education, family, and the drug war. Stop the charter schools and re-incentivize the nuclear family unit. Boom. And the drug war, because this is stupid. It's done absolutely nothing. No one can point to anything that the drug war has done that can constitute its continued existence. When it comes to these schools, the charter schools are a scam. It's nothing but really a money laundering scheme. Go ask Cory Booker's brother. And when it comes to our families, we have like the marriage. The nuclear marriage is completely disincentivized, particularly when it comes to the male aspect of it, because you can get butt fucked in the court system. So yeah, if you like, these are the things that are gonna be necessary if you want to fix it. But the problem is that the politicians, it's just lip service. They're just talking heads and lip service. Oh, we're going to do all these great things. Then they get in there and be like, well, I mean, I know what we said we was going to do, but shit happens.
They don't have good family units. Oh my gosh, there are just so many, I guess.
I'm going to keep it real with you. Since I've been living around here, and I'm 53, I've never seen so much death.
Homicides. A lot of them. It's a lot.
In the drug war, if you want to stop these cats from killing each other, and will it stop every and all things? Of course not. But that's the thing. When we refocus on families, when we refocus on, the things that are necessary, the things that can actually help, and not keep doing the whole program. Government programs cannot solve everything, okay? A lot of the problems that take place, a lot of issues that take place start in the freaking home, which is why we need to make sure that our homes are secure, that the family unit is taken care of, that, hey, mom and dad have access to decent work and are able to, afford the people that they bring into the world. And we also have to disincentivize this the welfare state that we have here, where the woman, she just couldn't lay down with any old dude, pop out the freaking kids, and we're gonna sit here and back them up. I'm not with that at all.
Homicides that go on, man. This Newark, by the way, it's a lot of homicides that going up here. That's all. Like 2 months ago, 7 people died in like 4 days up here. Like in this section alone, though. It's the Vailsburg section. This is the Vailsburg section. Like, I know there's nothing really back here. If you see anybody back here, you might see somebody like they sleep in the hallways there.
By the way, Vailsburg used to be really nice. I mean, really nice.
They sit up in the doorway shooting. You see a lot of sex acts back here. Oh, man, you'd be surprised, man. I mean, you wouldn't even think that.
No, I wouldn't, because I'm from this area. The deal is, and I hate to put it like this, but the Jews and the Italians left. It was like, yeah, y'all can have it, bye, and dipped. And they knew that it would be mismanaged to all hell. They made sure that it was mismanaged to all hell. No offense, but let's be real. There's a lot of financial interest in making sure this place was screwed over. And that's exactly what took place. It's not to be a jerk. It's not to call out any individual or anything else like that. But if you just look at the history. Before the riots, this was heavily Jewish and Italian. These are heavily Jewish and Italian neighborhoods. I mean, you could still see the I want to call them it's not damn menorah. The Jewish symbols on the doorways. But afterwards, they were like, "Oh no, we out," bounced, and left everybody of darker complexions to their own devices. And this is what happens.
Nothing, just like when you roll past, you'll figure it was abandoned.
Yeah.
This is a mini city back here, man.
What can the city do? Like, you think what are the problems? What can the city do to fix this?
To flatten it.
What's your message to anyone?
As far as what the city can do, they'll tell you they caught up in red tape. They're caught up in nothing but bureaucracy. The eminent domain is something that actually freaks some of the elected officials out. I've brought it up and they're like, oh my goodness, eminent domain, what? Like, I mean, so like they have nothing but bureaucracy and red tape to hop through. Now, I'm pretty sure they could probably get a lawyer in there that could that could break that down and get it knocked out expediently, but that's not particularly the game plan. And I couldn't tell you what the game plan is because I ain't in Newark City Hall.
One who doesn't really know what's going on in Newark, what's kind of your message? What is it?
I'm here to try to have a good life. Don't come here to try to make a family. Well, it's not going to work.
Newark's obviously had issues for a long time. How many years?
Real. Why he champing his Dutch? Real as hell. Like, don't come here to have a family. Don't come here to have a good life. Nah, this is not the place. This is not the area to accomplish such things.
You've just been completely destitute like this.
Like this? I'm gonna say 10 that I can, you know, and it might even be a little longer.
Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. You can see how the trees, how Mother Nature is taking back over its land, you know what I mean? Because at one time you could walk, it was a sidewalk here, you know what I mean? You can look at it now, look at it. Look at the trees.
Growing up, I mean, you're taking the bus to school, you're stepping on crack vials and seeing dime bags and like alcohol, and they're, drug addicts who are like doing that famous lean and nod. And these are the things that you're greeted with going to school.
I mean, when we came.
One of my favorite parts about Dave Chappelle's special, he's like, yeah, yo, when he's talking about comparing the crack epidemic to the opioid epidemic, he was like, yeah, I like to look and not care of myself. Like, yo, that's why my suggestion is always move, bounce. If you are in a place that is not doing good for you, that is not good for your spirit or your soul, then go to a place that is.
Parents scoped out the area the other day. We found out that, not only is there glass and needles and different things here, but there's also kids that still come play here at 4 or 5 o'clock at night every day. And that's it's unacceptable.
Well, then you should be talking to their parents, because where their parents at? Their parents off doing their thing, because they gonna get their money for the kid regardless. And the welfare state continues. And it's such a jacked up position to be in, because you want to be there, right? We want to have a social safety net. Hey, man, you falling on hard times. We want to make sure that you and your family are okay, and so you can get to the next point and you get to the next level. But it's not supposed to be a way of life, and unfortunately, it's an intergenerational way of life that is taking place in areas such as Newark, Irvington, East Orange, Detroit, Camden, Trenton, all urban municipalities, all democratically run urban municipalities throughout the United States. They are the dumping grounds for the elites and those in the ivory towers. And the deal is that your color doesn't matter in those ivory towers. You can be black, white, green, blue, purple. They don't give a damn. You just it's about class. It's about socioeconomics. All right.
Lead in the water has been there for quite some time, and they just now starting to put it together because kids have gotten sick from the lead water. And some of the parents be taking them to the hospital.
I hate to cut off old sis, but yeah, these kids been sick for a real long time. And it's that urban poison that I like to talk about. I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it's in the hot Cheetos. I don't know particularly, like, you know what I'm saying? Is it in the keel breast at Chicken Shack? I don't know how they've gotten it into the community. But damn it, it's been in here for a real long time.
They find out that they got lead. It's not a pretty sight.
There's a lot of lead in the water, and part of the reason is because the solution that they came up with 20, 30, 40 years ago is starting to actually wear off within the pipe, so the lead is actually now getting into the water. So there's a big campaign push right now to make residents aware and let the city actually repair those pipes and replace those pipes so there is no lead.
So the county has stepped in, Joe D, and said, yeah, we'll give you the money so you can take care of that lead problem in 3 years as opposed to 10 years. So boom, like what were they doing at the VMAs, man? Like they sitting there screaming at the VMAs, oh, fix up pipes. Like, bruh, like why are you sitting there? And speaking of the VMAs, you got Redman, you got like a lot of just Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, you got all these people there, right? But still, look at the conditions of from where they came. They ain't worrying about this shit, and I can guarantee it because when I was living out in Cali, I wasn't worrying about it.
Of Newark wants to make Newark, or make Newark, the city of Newark, what do they call it, sanctuary community. We can afford that.
Sis, with the wig, deal is that it's been a sanctuary community for longer than you. They're just acknowledging it at this point. What, like, bruh, what are you talking about? Like, Newark and such urban areas have long since been sanctuary communities for illegal immigrants. No, let's not play this game, man. Like that's the thing that kind of irritates me, is that when people get new information, they like to act like the old information is out the window. Nah, not over here.
And this community, like every other community across America, should be mindful of the immigration laws.
And the situation in Newark has been bad for a while, and it's almost even gotten worse, some would say. Why do you think that is, and what can the people do to kind of fight back against it? A lot of it, honestly, has to do with the representation.
When they get in the office, they don't do much. They talk a good talk, but when they forget all about what they say.
Okay, so here's the deal, is that once they get into that office, like, yo, deals are made. Not like that's one of the things I find funny about when people are like choosing who to vote for and what they want from their elected officials, is that honestly most people don't even know what the fuck they want from their elected officials, and before the elected official becomes the elected official, they have no clue what they're walking into. They know what the problems are, but as far as legitimate ways to get to the solutions, no matter what you sit there and suggest as a candidate, when come time for rubber to hit the road, you'll find yourself with a ton of different roadblocks and a lot of red tape and bureaucracy, as I've spoken of already in this video. So, I think it's somewhat of a unrealistic expectation placed on elected officials, because we've been through this process endless times throughout the course of my life where, oh my goodness, we're going to go in there, we're going to do all these great things, it's going to be awesome. Then they get in there, and it's like, well, compromise, man, compromise. So really, we as a society need to be more mindful of that. And when it comes to, the people that we elect, coalescing behind them and understanding that, not everything that they say that they want to accomplish is going to actually be accomplishable.
They was going to do.
We are the people that who vote the mayors in. And we be telling them we need help to get the crime rate down. Because too many innocent...
Yeah, but see, the reason why nobody comes knocking on your damn doors is because you don't have campaign contribution money. Like, yeah, you vote them in, quote unquote, but let's be real, particularly here in Jersey, trusting the voting machines here in Jersey is just not the it's just not the groove, man. Like, your candidate gotta trust their lawyers and be ready, because this is I'm telling you, it's a very, very interesting setup that we have for our election cycles here. But regardless, House always wins, right? So when it comes to the voting mechanisms, you got a lot of people who, like I said, place their faith in the system, but don't fully understand the nuances of the system. And so they'll find themselves butthurt when things don't particularly go their way. And, what the heck can you do about it other than just adjust? That's what the main point of life should be. Hey, is adjust and still try to get things accomplished that, you seek to get accomplished. But none of them have ever run on ending the drug war. So, shoot, it's never been tried.
Kids and adults been getting killed for no reason.
To be honest with you, if you go into any suburban neighborhood in this country and you had a fourth of what you see here, there would be an uproar and people would be fired from their positions immediately, and they make sure the city...
But that's the thing, sir. They don't have to have it there because it's all right there. They already figured out where to push and where to place these the eyesores, man. Like, that's the thing. You won't have that uproar because it ain't happening there. Those people will make sure they, like, I've seen people fighting fighting the affordable housing stuff. We've seen people fighting the cannabis thing. I mean, yeah, they will stand up and fight against it. It's the problem is in the municipality as large as Newark, you'll have a million different people on each side and everyone swears that they're right.
Yeah, fixed.
Talk to people like me, get my opinion. Other people, don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna be 100% real with you, sis. Like the life choices that you made that got you in your position, kind of is like would I really seek your advice? I'm just not sure. Like for something like this, yeah, great. To highlight the issues, but as far as the solutions, I mean, it's like I say, when it comes to the T's and when it comes to the trans folks, you can't particularly figure out what you want to do with your genitalia. So, there's bigger problems. I'm not going to trust you with a bigger problem when you can't handle something so small. You know what I mean?
Just do things to put on a show or to get elected, because this is serious. This is life.
Unfortunately, to do it, the shows that people put on to get elected work. That the political theater is the theater, and they got to put on a good show. If you're not putting on a good show, then people won't sit there and take you seriously.
It has been in the past year. You know how many overdoses it has been in this area right here? The sad thing is that sometimes you want help, but you don't know how to get help, or you don't know where to go.
And every politician will be like, we got this list. Here's all these numbers. There's all these different programs. We got all these different programs for you. Here's all these programs. I'm telling you, that's exactly what they have to say to that.
And that's why, right now, I feel completely stuck. They are not putting their citizens first. They are putting people who shouldn't even be here first. And when they took that oath of office, it was supposed to be to see.
She's definitely a Trump supporter.
About the general welfare of American citizens first. And they're neglecting to do that, particularly the Democratic Party.
Are you a fan of Cory Booker at all, or do you think he could be doing more for the community?
No.
Cory Booker ain't shit. I think I've made that very clear on this channel several times. He's like a test tube, baby. This guy is nothing but that political theater of which I just got finished ranting about.
That's a definite no. Cory Booker's not for the people. Cory Booker is nothing. I wouldn't even vote for him to become president or anything else.
What are your thoughts on Cory Booker?
Well, I remember when he was the mayor of Newark. He did nothing. They had an anti-violence.
But he had a fantastic political theater. I mean, the guy, running into buildings and spending nights in projects. Oh, yes. Oh, Cory Booker. Oh, so tough.
Rally on the steps of City Hall. He didn't send a representative. Neither was he present. I was there. And I was shocked when he won the senatorial seat. Because as mayor, he failed.
See, and that's where you messed up, by being shocked that he won that seat when he is nothing but an establishment puppet. I mean, he kind of shoot, say what you will about Sharp James. My man, what's the name? He was it was more of a connection to the actual residents, and for as corrupt as he was, his corruption in some ways was more tied to the people as opposed to Cory Booker, who was just the machine, and he's a big part of the reason why the national machine has its tentacles so deep within, New Jersey's roots, man.
The city.
What about the poor people? The ones that have worked, busted their butt, for their families to have something.
But they didn't bust their butts for campaign contributions, lady.
He don't care nothing about that. And if he don't care nothing about that, I don't care nothing about him.
What's your message directly to the elected leaders of Newark, if you could tell them one thing?
I would tell them to stop focusing on hating Trump and look at the people who put you into office.
Yeah, because, and I predicted this back in my other channel, Plug, the official elected official, years ago, when Trump initially got elected, that they would use him as a scapegoat for their own bullshit because, oh my goodness, everybody has Trump derangement syndrome. I've had conversations with elected officials, very, very recently where, when you don't get that when you're like, oh yeah, okay, oh, you sound like Trump, which is supposed to be an insult, but you're like, all right, whatever, it doesn't matter. What's this about? They're kind of thrown for a loop there, because it's like, oh wait, that didn't work. He didn't sit there and completely trip because I said he sounded like Trump. Oh no, my voodoo.
Remember the responsibilities you have to your constituents.
What's your message to Cory Booker directly, if you could tell him one thing?
Change your attitude and stop being a negative person. Be a positive person. Because we don't need...
But what are you talking about? All I talk about is love and being nice and being kind to each other. Oh my goodness. Cory Booker is so damn fake, yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, he's so fake.
that here.
Urban America is, been neglected by many of the elected officials. So I'm glad to be a part of this project that comes in.
Yeah, I'm calling nonsense on that one, primarily because like every 4 years you're not neglected at all. You got somebody come through and ring the door of your bell. How you doing? Can you vote for me? I'd really love if you vote for me. And then you vote for them. They either lose or they win, and you don't hear from them for another 4 years. You know what I mean? And by that time, a lot happens in the course of 4 seconds. Life can end in 4 seconds. Things can change in 4 seconds. So 4 years is long enough for them to feel like, shoot, I got it. It'll be all right.
The inner city does something positive so that maybe the residents will understand that their quality of life can be improved.
What brings you out here today to volunteer?
I was walking through my hood and I saw them. Why not help? We the ones that do this to it. That's all.
We got just a little bit complacent.
That guy's my favorite person. Like, it really is. On March 25th, why say March? On August 25th, the guys that did the cleanup in Baltimore came through Newark and did the cleanup as well. So, I was going to go through there, but I had to work that day. And it's good to see, because the deal is, and let me be very clear about this, the residents of these areas are kind people with good hearts, for the most part. I did an entire video on my hometown of Irvington, which is literally around the corner. Irvington is inside of Newark and on the side of East Orange. And these areas, these three very specific municipalities in Essex County are just dumping grounds for the elites and those who operate in the ivory towers, man. And they could care less about these residents or any of the people that are from these areas. You got to get out of these areas in order to become something that, dictates you become, you to get a name for yourself for the most part. And, but the people there are still there and they're really fantastic. Just the circumstances that they are in, the laws and the policies that have been governing them for so long has, taken a toll. But still, the people of these areas are really are Americans. And as Americans, we're generally a good people.
Whether it's they're just throwing out little incentives to keep people complacent and people haven't been rising up like they should. And now is the time for us to do that. And I know people don't like to hear this, but I've always been a firm believer that with somebody like Donald Trump in the White House, you actually have the opportunity to do that. Because this guy is a pragmatist, man. He doesn't care. Rise up. Let's take these cities back. Let's get them clean. And let's do what we deserve to have happen, to be honest with you.
Like, my whole slogan for today is, let's talk more action. And that's what it's about. If you want to be negative, you can be negative. We don't have time for that. We're out here trying to clean up.
Tell me what brings you here today, Roger.
Scott Pressler.
Scott Pressler was an inspiration when I saw what he did in Baltimore and I seen how the people reacted, because it's one thing.
Yeah, Scott Pressler is that long-haired dude. Yeah, but what the heck she say? If you want to be negative, don't be negative. There was something that I wanted to piggyback off of on that, because yeah, that's it. So as you can see, this is, it would, hey, we want to be the change. You see it on the t-shirts, right? All this other stuff. Well, are Republicans actually going to run in these spaces? Are they actually going to put forward candidates that are worth the shit? because if not, then all of this is for nothing. I'm going to be real with you. If you're not going to sit here and start presenting legitimate challenges to those in power, and I'm not talking about some, oh yeah, I mean, some door knocker, some grassroots door knocker or something else like that. Put like real money behind legitimate candidates and people who actually want to make these changes, as opposed to them being Bible thumping jerk offs, which is what a lot of urban Republicans are. Like, I'm not even going to stump, man. Like, because I've talked to, I have no problem talking to anybody because I don't give a shit about what your views are. I care about what my mission is. And so I've talked to the Republicans and I've talked to the Democrats, and urban Republicans are just Bible thumping dickheads that refuse that like are just, they are the worst. And so, so can we get some better Republican candidates and Republican types out here? That'd be dope. I'd love it. And I am an elected Democrat, and I'm saying, like, yes, I want these challenges. I want I want the battleground of ideas to be just coated in blood. All right, the battleground of ideas, not like any real battleground, but you see what I'm saying? I want those challenges. So this is nice. This is fantastic. This is a good look. But it also should be a start. You should be going out and actually, like, trying to grow the Republican Party, if that's what you're going to go with it. Or you should be trying to grow, your grassroots and get everything else together so you can put forward candidates that can actually challenge these establishments, and, actually fight for, make a legitimate fight for these communities. I mean, because this is just band, and if you're not doing that, then this was all just, guess what, more political theater.
For him to go out there and just do it, and the media, the way they put it out there, they don't really show you that the people there actually appreciated what he did. So much so that they invited him back for September 9th, I believe, to come back and do it again. And he's actually working with Reverend Shannon right out there.
Okay, so I'm not really interested in this becoming a what's the name? A boost for my man. So I think this is where we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. What? Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube, BitChute, and Speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Is this legit? Is this, like, I mean, am I being the negative one here? Am I sitting here saying, hey, this is kind of pointless if you're not going to be pushing candidates, if you're not going to be trying to legitimately help the people and take care of them? I mean, let me know. Let me know what it is in the comments, guys. All right, and until the next one.